Kia ora peeps. So it's a stinking hot day, so I'm looking a bit sweaty. Got all the curtains shut to try and keep the heat out, but it doesn't take much to make a little van get hot inside. So this video is van life gardening for idiots. Well, this idiot. So I was talking to one of my other mates, and he's hard out into the whole self-sufficiency thing and gardening and making his own, growing his own fruit and veg and all that sort of thing. And I was like, I'm doing this whole minimalism, not having too much crap thing. Can I do something like that too? Now I've seen there's a whole bunch of people who live tiny in permanent locations. They have all sorts of gardens and herb gardens and all those sorts of things like that. But there didn't seem to be any real obvious options for people who van life on the move. Well, especially not people who van life on the move who are as gardeningly inept as me. So I was thinking about it, and I thought back to something my mother used to do when I was a little kid. So now we have the van life gardening option for imbeciles or people who can't garden. Sprouting beans and peas. See, easy peasy. All it takes is water. Now we all know that a green salad is pretty boring, but if you put sprouts or things like that into it, it makes it crunchy, gives it texture, and makes it way more yummy. And all it takes is something like this. This one's nice. I got this from the local hardware store. It was like $10, $15, something like that. You put the seeds in, you pour water in a couple of times a day. The water drips through, soaks all the seeds. The cool thing about this one is that having as many layers as it does, you could do a bunch of different sorts of seeds, or you could have them out of phase. If you knew that it was going to take you 2 days to get through sprouts, you could have another batch ready to rock. The downside about this, it's too big to fit on any of my shelves, which means I have to stack each one of these little somewhere different, and that's a bit of a faff. So I went for something smaller. So the other option is one of these things. It's just like a plastic jar lid with holes in it. You could probably just make one with a jam jar and a soldering iron or a drill bit, or even like a stocking on an AG jar, and it just screws onto a glass jar. I am still looking for plastic because I'm trying to minimize breakableness, but this is soaked in water, 3 days of growth, no, 2.5 days. So by tomorrow evening they'll be ready to eat and go into my dinner. Easy peasy. So if you're on the move and you're doing van life and sprout and gardening and seems like a good plan, then this is about as low tech and idiot proof even I can do it as you can get. If you have more space or you're going to be in one place for longer, then something like this might be your berries. And if you're permanent and you're not moving, then make yourself an outdoor garden. Make yourself a roof garden. As soon as you've got the ability to not have to relocate everything that might break every time you go over a jutta bar, then yeah, there are options. But yeah, so van life gardening for idiots. Well, this idiot. Grow bean sprouts. They're delicious. No dirt. No fertilizer. Booyah. What other suggestions do you guys have? If you guys have got any other van life gardening self-sufficiency hacks. Van's not really big enough to raise sheep or cattle, so yeah. Give me your suggestions. Boom. Have a good one.